Hello everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to my YouTube channel. Today we are going to talk about Dr. Johnson criticism on Shakespeare. Dr. Johnson criticized Shakespeare as a human being, not as a god. He evaluated unity of times and mixing of tragedy and comedy. So he has pointed out certain fault in certain good qualities. So far, good qualities is concerned, he says that Shakespeare is a master of human nature. He represent human nature in his writing. For example, take the example of Macbeth in Hamlet. We can see that in Hamlet, he is procrastinating them. He is indecisive. He is not taking actions. So it is something that is related to human being. We human beings procrastinate often. So next quality he says that he has universal appeal. His writing that is not specific to Elizabethan age or Shakespeare age or new classical age or you can say Victorian age, but it is till now in modern age we see the same thing: the lust, the ambition, the all these things, procrastination, all these things are still in human beings. So his writing is a universal appeal to human beings. And next he said that there is a comic power in his writing. In his writing we can see that there is the character often makes light joke. So he has a comic power in his writing. For example, in Grave Digger scene we can see, in the Tempest we can also see, in Macbeth we can also see. So there is a comic power in his writing. So for his part or concern, Dr. Johnson found certain fault in his writing. First of all, he says that he has violated three unities. Three unities, it is a classical writer. They give more emphasis on three unities. For example, the unity of time, place, and action. As a writer must follow these three unities in his writing. Next, he says that three unities also mean that it must have a proper beginning, middle, and end. Next, he sees mixing of tragedy and comedies. In his writing, we can see that he has mixed tragedy and comedies. For example, in Hamlet, we can see that the Polonius died, the Hamlet died. But in spite of all these things, we can also Claudius killed Hamlet's father. Despite all these things, grave digger scene in which we can see that there is a light job when a grave digger he is digging the grave. So we can see that he has mixed tragedy and comedy. Next, we can see that there is a lack of moral purpose. Dr. Johnson point out that he is not preaching morality, but in modern age we can see that art should be for art's sake. In aesthetic says that art should be for art's sake, but Dr. Johnson says that he is not preaching morality. Actually, he is evaluating the Shakespeare, on the pyramid of new classical age, in which the writer has to preach moral purpose. Next, we can see that he has said that there is a weak plot. A weak plot means that he has not followed, beginning, middle, and end. A play must have a proper beginning, middle, and end. So he has not followed it. Next, he said that the death of good people, in Shakespeare play, the king died. For example, in Hamlet, we can see that the king died, and also in Macbeth, we can see the king died. So in King Lear, the same case. So the elite class, they died in this play. So he says that in Hamlet, in Dr. Johnson play, in Dr. Johnson about Shakespeare says, that he has these weaknesses. That the death of good people they often die in his play. despite of these, we can see that those who are big people, they are like Richard III, in his wit, that arouses the empathy of the reader. So see, he says that Shakespeare has certain fault, like violation of three unities, mixing of tragedy and comedy, lack of moral purpose, weak plot, and death of good people. He also says that the good people they are not rewarded, and big people they are not punished, like in a poetic justice. So to conclude, to sum up, we can say that in Dr. Johnson's criticism about Shakespeare is that he has pointed out certain good things like master of human nature, universal appeal, and comic power. These are in his writing. And so far as point are concerned, violation of three unities, mixing of tragedy and comedy, lack of moral purpose, weak plot, death of good people. So this is about Dr. Johnson criticism, about Shakespeare. Thank you so much.